Howdy, friends and floorheads. It is Tuesday night, and what could be possibly the last episode, at least, or the second last episode, maybe, of Brindlewood Bay. This is what this has all been working towards. Our Mavens have been solving murders in Brindlewood Bay, a small New England coastal town, just like their favorite fictional detective, Amanda Delacour. All the while, they've seen things get stranger and stranger and more dangerous. Now, while away in Canada, a friend of Maud met her, and before he disintegrated into ashes in front of her, he told her that there was a ritual in process in Brindlewood Bay and that the Mavens must stop it. We'll find our Mavens back in Brindlewood Bay in a different condition than when they left it, and we'll see you on the other side of the opening credits. We'll be right back. Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. Is it possible to be like super excited and also like I don't want this to happen at the same time?
Yeah.
Kind of what this feels like for me. So before we get started, first take a look at your character sheets and make sure you mark your XP triggers. Things that you potentially could do during this session that'll earn you XP. And then next, we're going to have a cozy vignette, but I'm going to be a little restrictive about it. The cozy vignette will have to be either at the very tail end of your visit in Canada or during the plane ride back. So who would like to give me the first cozy vignette? All right, let's hear it. Geraldine.
Oh my gosh, thank you. So you can see myself, Geraldine, on the plane ride back. And you notice that she brought the book that Salty Nancy gave her. And she is feverishly like having highlighters, pens, pencils, just writing what like notes and stuff, whatever she can kind of garner from the book to kind of figure this out. Yes, that is what she is doing with her time on the plane.
Maud?
So I think this is going to be before we leave. I think Maud is going to find her way back out to the weird plane wreck that they saw. And this time, because the time loop is over, the plane is older, the fuselage is destroyed. It's basically a skeleton of a plane anymore. And she is looking at it in a very quiet and introspective way when she hears a crack of a branch and turns. And as she turns, you see in the camera behind the wreckage of the fuselage a shadow walk away, and we'll fade there.
How about Elsie?
Elsie, I think, is waiting for the girls to get ready to head back to the plane. And, she's got her joint in her hand, but it's smoking, but she's not really smoking it. Instead, her other hand is just flicking her lighter over and over and over and over and over as she kind of stares off into the distance. But the smoke tends to kind of curl around her, and you can just see little glimpses of faces moving in and out of the smoke that pools around her.
How about Jackie?
So we're on the flight back, and Jackie has bribed the stewardess into bringing a never-ending chain of bourbon neat. She's got her little silk sleeping visor on and kicked back in a chair, like next to Geraldine. Every once in a while, she kind of like peeks out to like take a drink, and then she pulls it right back down because as they zoom around, you can see pressed up against the glass from outside the plane is her little dark passenger that's been following her around up against the window. She's like, the quarters are a little too close for her, so she's just...
So you took the private plane from the small airport out to Upper Maine. You're in land in Bangor, and there you're supposed to hop on a commercial flight to go from Bangor, Maine down to Boston. But the Boston airport, you find out when you get there, has been closed for inclement weather. It hasn't been real clear when that's going to clear up. And I think one of you finally decides we don't have time. So you rent a car and you start driving. It's about 3 hours to Brindlewood Bay. Now, as you got closer to Brindlewood Bay, you notice that the sky seemed to darken. It would shift in a way that you've never seen it before. Not stormy, almost like an inky ocean that's spreading along the horizon. And you would swear, if you look at the sky just right, it almost looks like a reflection of the bay itself, but with this thick, inky mucus. And it causes everything to just dim. It's early evening before sunset when you arrive in Brindlewood Bay, but you would swear that it's 2 seconds from the sun dropping. It's almost this twilight effect that the sky has on it. The car pulls up to the bookshop. And Elsie, as you guys start getting out of the car, you look at the front of the shop and the sign says open.
We'll definitely go to the door quickly. What in the world?
So you go to the door, kind of like, and you pull, and it opens. We hear the bell ring. We see Poe race in the background as he normally would. You look down at Poe's food dish, which you had plenty of food there to keep him for the week or so that you were gone. But it's almost full. You would have eaten a lot more than that while you've been gone. On the counter is a name tag. Now, one thing that you've prided yourself in is the custom name tags that you would wear when you're working in the store. Carefully, locally, like carved and burned wood magnetic tags. You see yours, Elsie. It's kind of in the jar where you keep it, where when you come down in the morning, you grab it and put it on before you open the store. So you see yours. But outside the jar, near the register, is another one. It says Eliza, which is the name of your doppelganger.
I'm going to call for Poe first thing and then just scoop him up.
He seems fine.
Just look back at my Mavens confusedly. Hold up the name tag.
Oh, that's not good.
I reach over and I just take the name tag, and then I quietly walk across the room to the trash can and deposit it and don't say a word. Handled.
So, Mavens, let me quickly remind you of what our final question is. It is complexity 6, which means if you find 6 clues that you can tie to the answer, you'll be rolling even. Any clues above that will give you a plus. Any clues less than that, you'll have a minus to that final roll. Here's the question. What is the time, location, and the manner of the final ritual needed to summon the child of Persephone? By answering this question, you unlock the ability to stop the ritual. Now, if you go to your journal inside of Foundry, I've got several things in there for you. I've got a list of all of the characters that we have met that aren't currently dead or in jail. I've also got locations that we have visited over the last 11 episodes. Brindlewood Bay feels different. And after what happened with Jack and his warning to Maud and the way she described that, you don't know what's happening exactly. You don't know where it's happening. And you don't know how it's being done. But you know that if you waste any time, it might be the end of Brindlewood Bay. It could be the end of the world.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
I think Maud sits down in one of the chairs, lets out a very slow breath. She looks worn out. It looks like she hasn't been sleeping. She just looks very tired. And she says, well, it seems like we ain't got too much time to worry about this, so we got to come up with a plan of action now. I know we just got into town, and Lord knows I'd just like to go home, but we need to do something. We need to come up with a plan.
At this point, Jackie's kind of reclined on the couch, and she's become slightly more just disheveled as time has gone on. So her hair's kind of crazy, her makeup's kind of smeared, and it's like she sees it and just can't be bothered with it. There's just other things going on, and she has nanners tucked under her arm. It's become almost like a little bit of like a comfort. So she's walking around with this ridiculous taxidermy cat that she's always hated, just tucked under her arm. So she's petting the cat. So what are we doing?
Well, we need to figure out what the hell's anything. Well, okay, no, let's elephant in the room. The younger you, we gotta stop that. It has tried to kill each and every one of us.
Mine already melted.
Mine is mine dead?
Yours is gone.
It was a car accident.
Yours is gone.
Mine's still out there.
Mine's still in here, apparently.
Less good.
Maybe we can question us younger selves.
Maud says, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of it. And she calls out, she says, hey, whatever kind of monster, haint, whatever you is, come down here right now. She'll yell it up the stairs.
I would imagine things get real quiet. Poe gets very still. But nothing happens.
she'll cross her arms and she'll say, I said it once, I'll say it twice, I won't say it a third time. If you're here, get down here.
Nothing.
All right. Well, I think we should talk to your friend Nancy.
I think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that was definitely on my bingo list today.
So let's cut to back in the rental car again. Driving across Brindlewood Bay, going out to where Salty Nancy lives. She lives a little bit outside of town, next to kind of a classic junkyard. She has a garage where she keeps her bikes. And she has a large but modest house. It's kept up, but it's not updated, if you know what I mean. You pull in, the sun has set, porch light is on.
I'm gonna, because I'm assuming I'm the one that's driving, get out of the car, cut it off, and just boom, 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 boom. Nancy!
So you knock on the door, and the first time you knock on it, it's not quite as loud as you thought it would. In your head, you think I'm hitting this hard enough, but it's a big door. It's a thick door that she has on there, and it doesn't quite make the sound you want. So you give it a hard rap, and on the second rap, the door swings open slowly. You realize that it wasn't even latched.
Okay. All right, ladies, I'm going in.
I'm not gonna let you go in alone. I'm right behind you.
Now, slowly open up the door, peek my head in, and just start walking in. I'm not calling out her name.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maud and Elsie, I know Jackie's following Geraldine.
Maud's going around the back.
Okay.
I've still
Elsie?
got Poe with me, and I'm going to go with Maud.
So Maud and Elsie, you start going around back. There's a chain link fence with a gate. Gate's not locked. You just flip the latch and it swings open for you. In the back is an unkept backyard. Not grossly overgrown, but you can tell she hasn't mowed the lawn in a good bit. We cut inside. Geraldine, you come into kind of her little kitchenette area. Her furniture looks straight out of the late 70s, early 80s. You remember at one point her joking, if it works, why replace it, right? Don't fix nothing that ain't broken. Fridge is kind of that weird, dull lime green. It's got all rounded corners on it. Big steel metal latch to open it. There's an unfinished bowl of cereal on the breakfast bar. Next to it is a white robe and a porcelain mask.
What the fuck is this? Okay. She's gonna go ahead, grab the mask and the robe. I just look at Jackie and just shoulder shrug.
I open up my purse.
Stuff it in.
So you put this mask and the cloak in there. What's odd is you've never seen them before. We've talked about them from a game perspective, but Geraldine and Jackie, you've never seen this, but boy, it looks familiar. And Geraldine, after burying yourself through that book, getting a sense of what sort of ritualistic craziness that Salty Nancy might be involved with, this looks on brand suddenly. Your perception of her, I think, has shifted. Let's cut to the back. Maud and Elsie, Um, probably the kindest pit bull that you've ever met is chained up in the back. It's Daisy. Wonderful dog. Daisy's curled up in front of her little dog house. She's got kind of a really generous tether that lets her run around the entire backyard. Her tail is wagging, but she's just kind of sitting there looking at you. Her big dish is full of food.
Is there a shed or anything like that back here?
There is.
I'm gonna go check out the shed. Give the dog a friendly pat if he comes close when we're doing it.
Yeah, she comes right up to you, kind of, and she knows to sit before she'll get attention, so she sits right down, and as soon as she does, you give her a little bit of attention. You get to kind of this wood shed. Looks like a tool shed of some sort. You open it up, and it's got what you would anticipate. You got rakes and shovels, some buckets. And stacked are those big Tupperware type storage containers, those 5-gallon storage containers, all stacked on top of each other.
Maud's gonna open one up and take a look.
All right, give me a meddling move, Maud. Let's do that with reason.
I suppose I'll break the ice. Meddling move with reason. All right.
That is the way to get things started. With the +1, you have 10, which is a full success on the meddling move. A lot of books in there. She seems to have a penchant for romance novels. Not the kind you buy at the bookstore that have the men with bursting chests and women with their clothing barely about to fall off of them. These are special order, very particular novels that involve certain tastes and flavor. As you kind of shift through them, you end up finding a black and white photo. And you grab it, and Maud, as best as you can tell with Elsie over your shoulder, you can see a group of people, and behind them is the bay. And you notice the old lighthouse. Now, the old lighthouse, about 50 years ago, crumbled during a storm. But in this picture, it's still standing. Gives you kind of a feeling of just how old this photo might be. In the foreground, you have 4 people facing the camera. Well, facing is not the right word, because 3 of the 4 of them are wearing white robes and these porcelain masks. But one of them is not. And how that person could be in this photo from this time when the lighthouse still stood makes absolutely no sense. So when we do our theorize move, I think we'll find out who that person is.
She'll show it to Elsie, and she'll say, I mean, we just dealt with some time travel nonsense. Do you think this could be more of it?
Well, I don't see why not. Doesn't really seem to be anything that would be impossible anymore.
That's true. Well, let's take this into the girls and see what they think. And she'll tuck it into her purse and head out.
So we'll have you guys walking towards the back door of Salty Nancy's house. We're still in the house, though. Let's go back there. We're in the kitchenette. We've taken that mask and that robe. We've stuffed it into Jackie's ample purse.
All right. Okay. Well, Salty Nancy, though I was not trying to admit it, 100% is into the shits with this, whatever this is. There's gotta be more. She gave me the book about the Nazi and okay. All right. I want to look around her house to see like if she has an office or something where secrets may be stashed away.
Yeah, so you start poking around the house. She's obviously not there. Um, it feels like just as you're going around, you know how you can kind of tell that somebody was just here,
Yeah.
right? You know, the not finished bowl of cereal. You can see where she'd gotten ready in the morning and hasn't picked up after herself. You get to her bedroom and you start poking around. Let's do a meddling move. We'll do this one with reason as well, if I could, Geraldine.
Of course. Oh.
It's gonna be a quick mystery. So you start poking around. I didn't mention, by the way, all of your conditions are cleared. You start poking around, and you find her jewelry box. You open it up, and it's empty except for one piece of jewelry. We'll talk about that when we cut back. Outside, Elsie and Jackie, you get to, or I'm sorry, Elsie and Maud, you get to the back of Salty Nancy's house. She's got a small, modest little wood porch, a functional porch that with like 2 or 3 steps that lead up to the house. The screen door is there. That back door is wide open. Elsie, the whole time that you've been out here, you've heard Daisy. Daisy's been, you know, she'll get up, reposition herself, kind of dig in the dirt a little bit and make herself another little bit of a comfy bed and then lay back down in it. So the noises of an animal is something that's been here for the past, 8 or so minutes that you've been back here. But as you step on the first step of this back stoop, you hear breathing, like animal breathing behind you. And it immediately takes you back to the dream you had in the mountain house. I'm going to need a night move.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to need this with sensitivity, but before you roll this, what are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this roll?
That some sort of animal is going to sneak up behind me and injure me somehow.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen. Whatever this is that has given you this feeling of being followed and stalked, hunted, much like the meat we saw get devoured invisibly during that last cutscene, we're going to see you get grabbed and pulled back into the backyard. But it's worse than that. Because in the same way we saw that raw piece of meat during the little ritual that we peered in on, we're going to start seeing bites taken out of Elsie as well.
Oh,
So
Lord.
let's do a quick night move with sensitivity. Maud, I think you're at the bottom of the steps. Elsie's a couple steps above you. You see Elsie's head jerk around, like she's looking behind you, but beyond you. And almost like a fisherman's hook grabs her and reels her in. She flies past you. You turn and you see her getting dragged into the darkness, past Daisy's house, into this junkyard. And you see Elsie's arms flailing, and her forearm suddenly has a chunk missing from it. And you can see the blood pouring from the arteries that had opened. Unless
I have a
Would you like to put
maven
up-
move I'd like to use.
let's hear it.
So I took BA Baracus and haven't used it in a while. Once per mystery, describe how yourself or another maven narrowly avoids impending harm. So that would have happened, except as they were approaching the back door, I was already moving in that direction. So I just instinctively reach out and grab her to pull her in and show her something. I'm trying to help me find the Rolodex. It's the 80s. The Rolodex is gonna have all the dirt. We need to find the Rolodex. So I just pull her and you see the hook kind of come out, like make the shing sound, just miss her, and then go back into the darkness.
You get pulled in, and Maud, you feel a breeze. The air's been still, but a breeze passes you. as you see Elsie getting yanked into the house. And Elsie, the breathing, the animal breathing that you were hearing, once you get inside the house, you don't hear it anymore. And you're there standing with Jackie.
I'm starting to wonder if it's my own breathing that I was hearing that's now sounding a little ragged and a little quick. I'm not going to say anything about it. What did you need?
The flippy thingy that you use with phone numbers. Rolodex.
Oh, yes. Is there an office?
Find out who she's been calling. I'm looking for a telephone. Like, usually hanging on the wall, maybe on a desk somewhere.
Yeah.
So as you guys take off to try to find the home phone, which everybody that's near my age knows what a home phone is, not your phone, a home phone. We're going to cut up to Salty Nancy's bedroom where Geraldine has opened up the jewelry box, and there's one piece of jewelry. And Geraldine, as you lift that jewelry piece of jewelry up, it's a necklace. The weight of it tells you that it's a pure silver. It looks brand new. The chain itself is gorgeous, almost brand new, and it's got a neat, almost of a slippery sheen to it in your hands. Hanging is an amulet off of it, though, and it's an amulet of an engraved eye floating over what appears to be water. And behind the eye, you see little tendrils escaping from it. So we've got two clues now. We've got the black and white photo showing somebody from today in a photo from long ago. And our second clue is a necklace with an engraved eye floating over water. Geraldine?
I'm going to pocket it. And also, I would like to say I do have a condition that I can't be removed, and it's obsessed with the void.
Oh, I didn't know that couldn't be removed. Okay.
It can never be removed.
Thank you for telling me that.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pocket the necklace. Okay. And go ahead and find my mavens. I found this necklace, super creepy, but at least worth a fortune.
Is that something we're looking for now?
Well, I'm bringing it too, just in case for later.
So, Jackie and Elsie, you find the little phone stand, right? It's a small little table that's maybe the top of it's only a foot by a foot, meant to just hold a phone that sits flat. It's the phone is kind of this dingy yellow with a rotary dial. Cord runs all the way off of it into the wall itself. There's a pen and paper next to it, and then there's a drawer under the phone as well.
Let's pull that drawer open, see if anything's written on that notepad as well.
So, Elsie, I see you grabbing that notepad and handing it to Jackie. Jackie knows what to do with it, right?
Yep.
Elsie, you will throw open that door. Let's do a meddling move. Let's do that with reason again.
Reason, okay. It's not my night. Not my night.
So you're poking through the drawer, and it's what we call a junk drawer, right? It's just got sewing needles, paper clips, thumbtacks, just little knickknacks, pens that don't work that for some reason we don't throw away. Nothing that really makes you concerned. Jackie, if I can get a meddling move from you going through this notebook.
What kind of meddling move?
I think raising.
Better than me.
More reason.
Do better. There you go.
Here's my Jackie. So, Jackie, the first 5 or 6 pages are all phone numbers. And you're honed in on who are these people? Who are they all connected? But it's everybody. She's got, everybody that that she would know. There's nothing that's really giving you any idea of who might know what Salty Nancy is mixed up with and who might not know. You see Jack Mason's name, the handyman. You see it's been crossed out in a different pen that it was written in. And as you're looking at that, we see an envelope fall out of the notebook and land on the floor.
I'm obviously picking that up.
You pick it up and you find yourself a letter inside there. The envelope is addressed, voided by the post office. It had been sent. It has a stamp on it and everything. It was written to somebody. And as you open it up, the same name on the front of the envelope, which is not Salty Nancy, is the same name that the letter's addressed to. And it seems to be a letter discussing 3 or 4 possible places for what they refer to as the final gathering. Again, during the theorized move, we might learn what some of those places might be. But this is your third clue, a letter between 2 residents that discuss ideal locations for the final gathering. And who the letter was written by and who it was written to and what is being discussed, we'll find that out in a little bit.
I can't help myself. I pick up the phone and I start calling the handyman. I've got to see how he's doing. What's he been doing lately? Like, why is his name crossed out?
Well, I'm going to remember that's who met Maud in Canada. That's who gave her the warning and who burned up in ashes. But you call the number anyway. And somebody picks up. And you hear some breathing and then click.
That's unsettling. Look at the phone. Oh.
Maud, where are you?
I think that she is determined to not be with the crowd for whatever reason today. She's just determined to go off on her own. And when the weirdness happened on the staircase, she had turned her head to see what was, what Elsie was looking at and noticed the junkyard. And I think that she is going to head towards the junkyard, hoping that at this point she just wants to catch Nancy out and give her a good thrashing. So she is very angrily stomping her way towards the... she's just had enough. Maud has just had enough.
I think for everybody else, what they hear is Maud very diligently stepping out of the home. You hear the back door slam and you hear the shaking of that screen door as she exits Salty Nancy. Maud, you head down. Daisy starts barking.
I love you.
But her tail's wagging. You hear a car pulling up.
She's gonna dip around to the side of the house so that she can look without being seen. Just kind of poke her head around to see if she recognizes the car.
So it's hard to see. The headlights are bright. This person turns off the headlights. That's Nancy's car, and you're like, you think it's her car. It's confirmed when she gets out of the car.
I think Maud is just gonna go up to her. I think she's just gonna go around to basically and be loud enough on greeting her that it will hopefully get to the girls in the house.
Okay.
Nancy, I have been looking for you all over.
Oh, Maud, I didn't know you were coming over. Have you seen Geraldine?
Yeah, she's around here somewhere. Daisy is just the sweetest little dog, and as soon as we came over and realized you weren't home, We just had to go visit. You know how it is. It's just the sweetest puppy that there ever was.
She is, and I really feel bad. I haven't spent as much time with her as I should have. Maud, I'd love to catch up with you. I'm awful busy though. I just need to run back in the house. I forgot some things. What can I help you with?
I think at this point, Maud goes from smiling to steel. And she says, well, I think maybe, just maybe, whatever you're in a hurry to get is a very, very large interest to me, Miss Nancy. And I know you're getting ready to say something, and it's going to come out of your mouth, and it's going to be, it's not going to be the right thing to say. So I want you to consider what you're saying before you say it, and understand that if you don't tell me the truth, I'm going to know about it. So what the hell is going on?
We see her face go through a series of expressions, right? I think maybe what prompted you to add that addendum to your question was the friendly, salty Nancy face that was emerging to tell you some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But then you give that second part of your speech, and her beautiful Samoan face drops. And she has a far more serious expression on her face. This woman is much younger than you. She's about a half foot taller than you. Her arms are about as big around as your calves. She walks up to you. She says, "You want the truth, Maud?"
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
Give me a meddling move. I want this one with composure, though.
Okay. Meddling move. With composure. Oh! I guess they got to balance out.
She puts her hand on your shoulder. The truth is, all of you had an opportunity. We were using Geraldine as the gateway to introduce all of you to what's happening. As she's talking, Maud, her hand is slowly squeezing on your shoulder. Your clavicle is tightening. But instead, you just kept causing trouble. I like you. I love Geraldine. That's why I'm going to tell you to leave. And I don't mean my yard. The best thing the four of you can do is get out of here. Fast.
Well, I am going to slide in a Crown of the Void, the Chariot, which will drop my Reason modifier and raise my Sensitivity modifier, which actually makes a lot of sense. And we're going to replay that interaction.
Okay. So we're going to make that a partial success for the meddling move. She looks at you, Maud, and she says, "I can't tell you what's happening. I can tell you that you're in danger. If they knew I was telling you this, I would know immediately, because I would die in front of you." She reaches into her pocket. Without breaking eye contact with you, Maud, she takes something out of her pocket and she puts it into your purse. "Please, Maud, get the girls and get out of here."
Maud shakes her head and she says, as much as I'd like to do Exactly that. I just watched Jack Mason melt into a puddle of goo. And it ain't fair to that boy to not figure what the hell is going on and whatever you have got yourself into. And you know us. We not gonna stop. I hate it. I hate it for you and I hate it for this town, but we ain't gonna stop.
She steps away from you, Maud. She says, if you don't go, it's going to happen to me. Just please leave. She's trying to keep a stern face, Maud, but you're seeing a tear produced from the corner of her eye. Her hands are visibly shaking.
She says, all right, we'll leave. But if I see you again, we ain't friends. Understand?
I do. It won't matter
Right.
soon anyway.
And she'll have the girls come around the other side of the house at this point.
She's got a little bit of a worried face as she sees you pouring out of her home. I don't think she fully realized, that you guys were in there.
I'm gonna walk up to Nancy and hug her tightly.
You get a very loving squeeze back, Geraldine, a very non-threatening, a very caring squeeze back, and then she pushes you away. Go.
All right. Love you, Nancy. She's gonna get in the car.
I just give her a wave. Hi, Nancy. Go and get in the car.
Why don't you go with us?
She's just walking. She's turned and walking into the backyard.
Come on, Jackie. Let's hurry up. Hurry up. Get in the car. Trust me. Get in the car.
Are we sure? I mean,
I will leave
I
you.
brought rope. We can put her in the trunk.
Get in the car.
Some people need saving from themselves after being pulled away.
When Maud gets in the car, she'll look at what was put in her purse.
So as you guys are getting in the car, it was dark when you got here, but it feels darker now. And you realize as you look up that there's no moon, no stars. But you also don't have that feeling like the weather changed, right? The barometer didn't shift at all. It's not a sense of that there's clouds that are covering the night sky. It's just pure inky darkness up above you. You get in the car, Geraldine, you start it up. Maud. We see the car peel out, apparently.
Yeah.
And you get onto the dirt road that leads from Nancy's back to Brindlewood Bay. Maud, you reach into your purse and you pulled out a rope. It's an old frayed rope that has a series of knots tied into it, but they're all spaced differently. Geraldine, as she's pulling that rope out, you have no idea where this rope came from. You don't know why Maud has this in her purse. But you look at that, and you know what that rope is and what those knots mean, because you read about it in your book. There's your fourth clue, an old frayed rope with a series of knots and a specific pattern. Where are we cutting to?
We can go back to the bookshop. Safe place to land while we figure out the next step.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't know if anywhere is a safe place to land at the moment. So
I think your doppelganger moved.
better the hell you know than the hell you don't know.
So, we know that Diane is a part of the midwives club.
Mm-hmm.
The one who pretty much said I couldn't join. I feel like we'll be in a
Dory,
lot of danger.
right? The lunch club lady?
Yeah, she's
The
just,
socialite?
Yeah,
Dory.
yeah, Dory.
When I called our dearly departed friend, someone picked up long enough to breathe into the phone. There might be something there, that's all I'm saying.
Well, I heard a breathing behind me earlier, too, on the back porch, Nancy's house.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to do about that one, Elsie. But that one,
We've already fled that place.
I don't know about that one, but let us know if it happens again.
I will.
But we can go over to our lovely Himbo's house.
What about Deputy Valentine? I mean, she's smart enough. Surely she's noticed something.
We do need someone else on our side that's like younger with a gun.
If we can get her to meet us at Himbo's house, then we won't be doing a normal B&E. There'll be like probable cause. She can enter.
Oh,
Bring a warrant.
Well, why don't we stop by my house so I can check in on things there, give her a call, and then head over that way?
All right.
all right.
See if my doppelganger might be hanging around my house. I swear she slept in my bed. I am going to lose my cool.
Oh, that hadn't even crossed my mind, Maud. Oh, I'm going to have to change the sheets.
So Geraldine, you told her that just in time for her to catch the right turn to kind of go over south towards Maud's house. And Geraldine, you've always been a 10 and 2 driver. Except when you're in your motorcycle, I think you might get a little dangerous, but this is a rental car and you're a very good driver. Headlights are on bright, so you have nobody else coming towards you. And something jumps in front of the car. An animal of some sort. I need a night move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this?
It's a deer and it's gonna crash through the windshield.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a deer. It is going to crash into the windshield. And who's in the passenger side? Who's got shotgun?
Jack.
It's
Jackie.
also going to, as it crashes through the windshield, bite into Jackie's neck. So if I can
No
get
pressure.
a night move, Geraldine, and let's do that with... You tell me. You could do it with vitality if you think you're just going to overpower to avoid hitting this, whatever it is, or with composure if you're just going to keep your cool. So I'll let you pick.
Composure. That's a lot better when doing defensive driving. And I wanted to ask you, Craig. You absolutely tell me no about this, but so I have Michael Knight, and this is not my vehicle of choice, but it is a vehicle. Would I be able to get advantage on a die roll?
Can you read to me what the
Mhm.
your move is?
Michael Knight, you have a trusty mode of transportation, oversized car types that has gotten you out of more than one sticky situation. Give it a name and add it to your cozy little place. When you use it to get an advantage on a die roll. So
here's my question for you: remind me what your car was. What is your trusty car?
it's my motorcycle with the sidecar.
What was the last car you owned?
Probably like a Chevrolet. Like,
And I think it's your familiarity with that made you rent one when you had your choice at the rental agency. So yes, let's roll this with advantage using your Michael Knight move. So if this is a night move with composure, mark advantage before you roll.
okay. Wow, that's wrong. It didn't give me the option to do advantage.
Really? Hold on a second here. So if you, Geraldine, go to moves under roll mode, do you see roll mode? You should have normal, advantage, and disadvantage above the moves.
Yes, I do. I see it.
All right, Great. Mark an advantage. Then
Okay.
do the roll by clicking on the move, and then remind yourself to go back because it's really easy to forget that you're in
Undo.
advantage. So this is going to roll 3 dice. We're going to take the 2 highest. Very,
Yes.
very nice. You rolled an 11. You tell me what happens, Geraldine. You see this deer jump in front of the car.
Hmm. I want to say I will do a quick turn, so I skid the car to the side, so it just parallels one another. We parallel to the deer, and it brings us into a halt.
As the car stops, Elsie, you turn. Geraldine saw a deer. Maud saw a deer. Jackie saw a deer. Luckily, Geraldine saw it in time. But as you turn back to look at this thing, it is a embered, glowing wolf, the size of a deer, with its eyes like burning coals. And you can hear that breathing again.
What the hell is that?
A deer.
It's not a deer. Also, there's the breathing again. You said to let you know when it happened again.
Okay,
There it is
okay,
again.
okay.
Okay.
I trust you.
Let's try faster.
Yeah.
We need to go. Just keep going. Please don't stop the car. Go, 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 go. And I'm like turning to watch it all the way.
Okay.
As
So
we're
Elsie,
driving.
you turn, and you saying it's not a deer, I think causes everybody to turn and look. It's gone. So the deer or whatever the fuck this was has taken off into the darkness as Geraldine rights the car and takes off. You guys head towards Maud's. Let's cut to Maud's house. Maud, as we pull up, can you describe the front of the house for me? Oh, you're on mute, Maud.
So she and her last husband, who, let me check my book, his name is Macon, or was Macon, bought this house several years ago. They bought it because it reminded them of when they would visit the Biltmore estate. It's got that sort of large facade where, you know, there's really nice gardens out front. There's a big like solarium kind of off to the side, and then the front has these large pillars and this sort of like open front porch that's almost like an entryway.
I feel like architecturally it doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, it's a little off for
in New
Brindlewood,
England.
yeah.
Yeah. I do need us to paint the scene though. So it'll be our first paint the scene in a while. We'll start with you, Jackie. As you look at the front of Maud's home, and you have been here several times, in what way has this place been affected by the presence of the midwives of the fragrant void?
I think that there is a strange darkness that's fallen over the windows, almost like somebody intentionally tinted them, so you can't get any reflective properties out of it.
Elsie, what do you notice?
The ivy that has always kind of grown across the front of it and up its columns has started to die and wither, and it's just black and brittle.
Geraldine?
It looks older. It looks like it's on that verge of almost not being taken care of.
Maud, what do you notice as you start to walk towards the front of your home?
There is something on the porch. It's shadowed, so we can't see it. But we can tell that there is clearly an object of some sort sitting on the porch, like it would be a parcel, but it's not in the shape of a UPS box.
As you go up the steps, Maud, it seems like it was a trick of the shadows. Because by the time you get up to your front door, there's nothing there. The ivy's dead. The windows aren't as translucent. as they used to be, and the front door's locked, the way you left it.
She'll turn the key, open the door. She left the pup with her daughter. She came and picked him up before we left, so she's not worried about him. But she's just gonna kind of like step into the entryway and pan around, just
So
kind
you
of
go into
listening.
yeah, you walk into the main foyer. The grand staircase leads up to the second floor in front of you. The sitting room is off to the left. The beautiful dining room that you've kept is off to your right. As you look around, by no means, Maud, are you a sloppy person. But this is a big home, and it's been just you. So you've always kept it up as well as you can. But nobody would ever walk into your home at any point, Maud, and use the word tidy when describing it. It looked lived in, always looked lived in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't now. What it looks like, it looks kept. It looks like somebody was hired to clean this place. All the marks, fingerprints that on the mirrors that you just never took time to clean off are gone. There's no dust on the side table. You look at the carpet in the sitting room, and it's plusher than it's ever been because it's been vacuumed recently. And I think the plushness of that carpet, the newness it looks, is in stark contrast to the body laying in your sitting room.
She'll look back and she'll go, well, just to warn you, it looks like there might be somebody dead in here.
Oh my god!
Beautiful. Looks
And
nice in here.
she'll walk in and get closer to the body.
It's Meredith.
Oh.
It's Meredith, your doppel. And someone has taken a knife and cut her from ear to ear. And the blood is dried and crusted on the carpet. So when this happened, it was a while ago. Going to need a night move, Maud, with composure, and I need to know before you roll that, what are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your composure right now?
I think I'm afraid that Maud is just she's been barely holding it in. She is so angry, I think, about it, especially since the incident with Jack. She's been so angry that I think Maud is just going to snap. She's just going to go on a rampage. Like, this woman is going to straight up hunt these people down and just start losing. I mean, just in whatever way it would be that Maud would just completely go ballistic.
Yeah, I think you are going to lose it. I think we're going to see a demonstration of lack of self-control and anger from Maud that I don't think the other three Mavens have ever seen. But it's worse than that, because in that process, out of sheer anger at the entire thing, you're going to pull that rope out and untie every one of those knots and lose it as a clue.
Oh, okay. Let's not do that.
So let's do a night move with composure.
Oh, it's a 7.
That's good. I need to understand, Maud, how is it you can walk into your home, tell that this woman, thing, whatever Meredith is or was taking very good care of your house in a way that you just didn't have the time or the desire to. And now she's murdered laying in your sitting room right now. How do you not lose it the way we described you would?
I think that she honestly, instead of getting angry, just kind of like slightly hysterically starts laughing at just the ludicrousness of the entire thing. So she's suddenly just like breaking out in this like almost wheezing laughter. You know, her hand clutched to her chest, just kind of doubled over, just uncontrollably for a minute or two, just laughing until her breath hitches and there's tears in her eyes.
Can you add the condition on the brink, please?
Yes, I can. I mean, I don't want to, but I will.
So all of you see what I've described. You see the body, Meredith, who you haven't seen, but I think one time before in the bookshop with the signing. So I think where we last saw Meredith. She's there dead. She's been dead for a while, and Maud is cackling.
I think Jackie immediately goes to Maud, puts hands on the shoulders, kind of like steadying her and trying to like move her towards like a seating area away from the body. I know, sweetheart, it's messed up. We're right there with you. Just trying to kind of like give her a touchstone. Like, it's okay. We're in the room with you. This is in fact absolutely terrible. Let's get you sat down away from the situation. Somebody want to call the detective about now?
Yeah.
Maud
Come to the other
says,
side of Maud, pull my flask out and pour her a little shot and hand it to her.
between like deep breaths, Maud says, well, at least she cleaned up after herself. So yeah, she'll just spend a minute or two just getting herself back together and taking a very big drink of whatever's in the flask.
What's your favorite bourbon, Maud?
As the warm bourbon hits the back of your throat and evaporates on your tongue, kind of take a breath, Maud. Collect yourself. Elsie's there, comforting you. You look back at the body, Meredith's body, and you realize she's wearing an outfit that you haven't worn in about 15 years.
She'll actually stop at that. And her, I think her face, like she'll go from laughing to just kind of very somber. And she'll say, that was the dress that I met Macon. When I met Macon, I was wearing. We were, where was I? I was in Colorado. We were in Denver. And I was at some big to-do, something that Gerald had put together, and I went every year for Gerald because it was his thing. And I just felt like, it was my duty to him to do it. And this man walks up, and I had said no more. I had said, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then here's this guy, and he shows up. And as soon as I saw him, I said, well, there's number 4. And I don't think I wore that dress after that night. I wonder where she found it.
You go to the kitchen, Geraldine. There's the phone. Under it, Maud, usually open to wherever the last place she went to is the phone book, but the phone book is neatly put away on top of the table. God. Flip it open, flip through it. You find Valentine's number.
Pick up and call her.
Valentine.
Hey, this is Geraldine.
Hey, you guys back in town?
Well, don't go spreading that around, but what are you doing right now?
Been real busy. Lots of animals dying. People are convinced that something's been killing pets and things like that. And we got a lot of break-ins happening. Just Place has gotten a little nutty since you girls left. Good news is no one's died.
Well, can you head over to Maud's house for me? It's important.
Yeah. Are you guys okay?
Um, that's a little question. Just find yourself down here. It's gonna be, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jackie's there.
Yes, Jackie's here.
All right, I'll be right there. She
All
hangs
right, hangs up. All right, goddamn, Jackie's.
What did I do?
Nothing. Valentine wanted to know if Jackie was here, and she's on her way.
There's the look that crosses her face as she's trying to recall what she might have done, because it's not outside the realm of possibility that she did do something.
What are we gonna do while we wait for Valentine to show up?
I'm gonna put a sheet over the dead younger Maud.
Yeah, you go over to a guest room and grab, or actually the linen closet. Maybe I think maybe Maud, you direct her that way, and you cover the body.
I think after a little bit, Maud says, I need to do something real quick. Just I'll be right back." And she goes to her bedroom and she closes the door and she picks up the phone and she dials the number for her government brother Owen, her government leaning brother Owen. And I'm going to use my Rick and AJ, which to recover, to go over that again, it says you have a sibling who's your polar opposite in terms of fashion, sense, and personality. You can always request a scene with the sibling. You can also call on them for help, in which case you had advantage on any die rolls for actions they assist you with. However, help always comes at a cost.
Okay. So Owen picks up and goes, "You reach the man."
Hey, Owen. It's Maud.
Hey, Maud.
I
You spoiled the shit out of my kids. I haven't been able to get them right since they've been over there.
They had a good time. I need your help again, and it's serious. Oh, and I know you have some ties that you don't want to ever talk about, and I know that you've been into some possible CIA stuff. So,
Maud, we can't talk about this right now over the phone. You know that. What are you getting at?
I need to know if you've ever heard of this particular cult. They're called, it's the Sisters of the what? My brain is not.
It's the Midwives of the Fragrant Void.
Yeah, the Midwives of the Fragrant Void. I know that sounds so weird to say out loud, and I apologize. And normally I wouldn't put any credence to this, but oh, and I got to tell you, it's like I'm living in one of Papa's stories. I mean, everything, every kind of hate you could imagine is just around.
Can you give me a meddling move?
I can.
Let's do it with presence and with an advantage.
Yeah. So let's do meddling move with advantage, meddling move, and presence. That's my good one.
Okay.
So it's a 10.
Yeah, you take your top 2 die plus 1. Make sure you mark it off advantage. Or you forget. As you're saying that, Maud, you hear him, and then you mention the Midwives of the Fragrant Void. Owen goes quiet. You can hear him standing up. Wherever he was sitting, he's standing up. You hear him walking as you're continuing to talk. You hear some papers rustling. You hear the distinctive creak of your dad's office chair. That's one of the things that he inherited, was your dad's office furniture, and that creak just brings back memories when Dad was going to work on the bills. You could just hear his butt hit that damn chair in the same way you hear Owen sitting down. And as you finish what you're saying, he goes, "What was that name again?"
It's the Midwives of the Fragrant Void.
So you hear more papers shuffling. And he goes, "I thought that sounded familiar." So, Maud, I've got an old thing from a book, and I don't remember what case it was tied to, and I can't remember what the hell we were investigating. And well, we weren't investigating; we weren't doing anything. I'm not sure where I got this. Never mind. But, I have in front of me right now a manifest from a boat called the Deep Reaver. It was a whaling ship that came in and out of Brindlewood Bay way back in the late 1800s. So as a quick refresher, you guys heard about that whaling ship. Remember, it was the whaling ship that brought back that creature of some sort to Brindlewood Bay when we were talking about the histories. And boy, I'm looking at the manifest right now, and you're not going to believe the last name of the first mate. This is your fifth clue. A torn page from the manifest of the Deep Reaver whaling ship that brought back an odd fish in the summer of 1877. The first mate shares the last name with someone you know.
I think she says, "You know what? That makes sense. Owen, if you don't hear from me in a couple days, come check. Bring whatever you can. I'm
What the hell's
stuck.
going on, Maud?
I'm stuck in something I can't understand, Owen. I'm just baffled. This is all gommed up, and
Don't you do something stupid.
I don't think I got a choice. It's going to happen to me whether I do it or don't do it."
God damn it, you're a stubborn bitch. You hear him right before he hangs up the phone on you. You hear him say to his wife, "Honey, I'm going to be gone for a couple days." Click.
And she'll hang up the phone and go, "Asshole," but in a very loving way, and then head back down.
Geraldine?
So as soon as Maud left, I kind of want to check the body to see if anything was on there.
You have become, over 12 episodes, the looter.
just in case, because I don't want to do it in front of Maud, because she had a very strong reaction. So I just want to see, is there is this? How are these? It can't be human. This thing can't be human. Like, what is it?
So Geraldine, you pull back the sheet that you covered the body with. You're looking at the crusted old blood around the wound around her neck that's soaked and dried up on the carpet under her. It's got a tackiness that feels weird. This happened a long time ago. Why is it still kind of wet? Why does it feel still tacky a little bit, even though it's obviously old? Color looks a little bit off. You start going through her pockets. Let's do a meddling move. I'd like it with, I think I want this with composure.
All right, we're good. We got this. We're succeeding.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. So you're going to get a clue, and I'm going to give you an additional something that you learn about the Dark Conspiracy.
Okay.
You're going through her pockets, and you find one of those small pocket diaries that'll fit in a purse. In the skirt pocket. Yes, that's a skirt with pockets. And you start flipping through it, and you realize that the first couple pages are innocuous. They have like a little tiny grocery list written on one. They have a couple phone numbers written on it. But then as you flip through, you see what's not a grocery list. It's a list of things to gather. And it starts off somewhat innocuous. It starts off with knife, fresh steak. And then it starts getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Your sixth clue is an old diary that describes how to prepare for a ritual to raise the ancient seeing child. The very end, you see that word written, the ancient seeing child. Now for the bonus on this critical success. You see a couple names at the end of the diary. The first one definitely doesn't surprise you. Salty Nancy. And a couple of the items are written under her name. Like she might be in charge of gathering those. I don't know. You see Dory Mason's name. Maud's been saying that socialite dinner club bitch is involved. You see Jack Mason's name, which you kind of learned that he got wrapped up in this. I think what surprises you is Dr. Elizabeth Stephenson's name, the doctor that treated Jackie in the alleyway. She's on that list too. So that's for your critical success.
We let that bitch touch you. All right. And then I'll cover back up the body.
Maud's coming down the steps. Headlights from the deputy car is hitting the windows, so she's pulling up. Go ahead, Maud. I'm sorry.
I say Maud looks much more composed together right now. She's taken a minute to kind of tidy herself back up to her normal Maud standards.
I'll hold up the diary. The doctor's on this shit too.
I'm pretty sure it's everyone now.
Honestly, I'm only trusting Valentina because she just got into town.
Well, let's
and
hope
now I'm kind of god damn it.
I'll get the door.
You open up the door. There's Deputy Valentine.
We have a situation this big. It's just a small one.
Yeah, Geraldine didn't sound good. What's going on?
It's best you just come look.
So she comes in. And she sees the sheet covering what is obviously a person. She turns to you, Jackie, and she goes, "You've been gone for 5 days. Nobody's died. You're back in town?"
In our defense, that looks to have been there for a while, and this house has never been so clean, so it was also living here.
What do you mean it was living here?
Pull back the sheet.
So you pull back the sheet and she goes, "Oh my God, she's been murdered." She gets down on one knee. She pulls some gloves out of her jacket pocket and she puts them on. She starts feeling around, looking at the wound. Yeah, I'm not the first person. Someone else has been messing with this body, I can tell. She's
We're
looking.
pretty
Who
sure
knows?
she's not human.
I'm sorry, what?
We're pretty sure she's not human.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand what you're trying to say.
So what I said and what I meant are the same thing in that we're pretty sure that she's not a human.
What do you think? What do you think she is?
Some sort of hate creature, demon,
Yeah. So
something.
we see her touching the wound and the blood, and we see it come off in like this black inky thing, and she separates her fingers, and it strings between her
Like-
fingers.
Like, what is that?
How many humans you know do that?
That's not blood.
Ooh, what is it?
I've never seen anything like this before in my life. What the hell is
To our
going on?
point.
We were out of town.
Maud says, I'm going to need you to sit down because it's going to be weird. I promise you, it's been weird for us. And you need to just listen to us.
Oh, are
As
we doing
strange
this?
Yep.
I'm gonna get the bottle for the detective.
As strange as it sounds, we need you to listen to us, and you're going to have to believe us. There is something going on in this town, a conspiracy that is, as far as we can tell, covers almost everybody in town, and they're getting ready to do something real nasty. I don't know if you've noticed the sky. I'm sure you've seen weird things happening in the past couple days. It followed us all the way to Canada.
So, Maud, I think we watch you start to give her, then this happened, and then this happened. Do you remember that? Do you remember the alleyway?
Mhm.
And do you remember what happened here? And we see as you're being reinforced, Elsie chimes in with something. Geraldine reminds you of something. Jackie says some smart ass remark. And we watch her face get more and more sullen, go from, I don't think Maud's okay, to the facts are starting to stack up and you can see it in her face.
It's a cult.
She hasn't touched the glass.
I'll take the glass then.
Oh no, right before you do, she's like, oh, she takes a sip. As we watch Maud slowly explain it away and make it clear to the sheriff's deputy what the hell is going on. I'm going to ask Maud to make a day move with presence on the other side of the break. We'll be back in 10. So, Maud, you think you're getting through to Deputy Valentine, but I want to make sure. So let's do a day move. Let's do it with presence and see whether she's buying what you're selling.
Day move.
Now, real quick,
Uh-huh.
mechanic, we haven't really used a whole lot, but is there anything in your corner of the house that could help with this?
Oh. Let me look at what we got. Yeah. She is gonna pull out her little black book as basically like a point. And as she's sort of naming names, she's going to like point at all these names and like, we went to this person, we've looked at this person. You remember when this happened with this one? Like they're all connected.
Perfect. So go ahead and mark that as being used, and that gives you advantage on this roll.
Okay. So we're going to have advantage. And you said with presence?
Yep.
Okay. It's an 8.
You can hear the heavy bass of her bourbon glass hit the glass top of your coffee table, Maud. And she goes, let's say everything you just said is true. What are we going to do about it?
We're going to stop it.
There's nothing in what I heard you say, if all of it's true, that gives me any indication that it can be stopped.
When you got to town, did you think 4 little ladies like ourselves really was figuring out a lot of crimes just based off our good looks?
I mean, I got to tell you, there was a period of time where I thought you women were involved with all this stuff. When Dalrymple reached out to Boston saying he needed some help because people were dying, and I came up and I gathered all the information. I kept an eye on you ladies, but I mean, you proved to me more than once that, you ladies know what you're doing.
I'm going to use a move we have not actually used yet in this playthrough of Brindlewood Bay. I'm going to use a Golden Crown Mysteries move.
Oh, let's read it off.
It says, once per mystery, when any Maven says, this reminds me of something that happened to Amanda Delacour, work with the other player to describe how something happening in the situation reminds the Mavens of an event from one of the Gold Crown mysteries. At a minimum, you must provide the following information: the name of the mystery in question, the problem or situation she found herself in that was similar, and how Amanda eventually overcame or resolved the situation. Then take a 12 plus to a relevant roll or state a fact about the current situation the keeper must incorporate. Note, generally speaking, this move can only be used once per mystery per group. So, I'm going to say, I know it all seems a little hopeless, but listen, I don't know if you've read them or not, but we found a lot of inspiration from oh my God, I know you guys can hear my dogs in the background. From the Golden Crown Mysteries. And there was this one in this book called what was it called? It was called The Dark Hole of the Cove. And that dark hole of the cove was an old Templar treasure. And Amanda Delacour found herself faced against this Templar cult. And the way she got out of it was that she found out who was the one absolutely responsible. That's what we got to do. And you can help us with that because you've been working here. And right now, they don't know that you know.
What is the fact that I have to accept as true going forward?
That she's going to help us.
She stands up and she goes, let's do this. Where are we cutting to?
The handyman's house.
We cut to you pulling up. Deputy Valentine's right behind you. You guys pull up to Jake Mason's, basically a shack. He's got this little tiny, like 700 square foot home that's near the bay. All the lights are off. You can see the mailbox, and the front door of it is swinging. You can see that there's mail kind of jammed in there. Valentine gets out and she goes, "Now you're telling me that Jake came up to where you were in Canada and told you what was happening? And that he's dead? He burned away?"
Yeah, he turned into a
Right
big
in
pile
front of
of
my
ash.
eyes.
"Can someone knock on the front? I'm going around back." And she pulls out her revolver. Jackie, you knock on the front door. You wait a little bit.
I call for him.
The door opens.
Oh, that's unsettling.
Except it's Deputy Valentine.
Oh,
I got in through the back door. There's nobody here. And I don't think there's been anybody here for a couple days now, just looking around. And she points over. It's almost like a studio, right? You can see his bedroom, his little kitchenette. Points over and you can see like the drawers, the dresser drawers are out, and you can see where some clothes were laid out. Looks like he packed some clothes, but not all of them. I don't think anybody's been here since he went up to visit you guys.
I'm just gonna start rifling through his stuff. I want to start with the luggage, hoping that he packed the most important things first.
So you go over to the bed where he had been packing away. Suitcase is not there, but like I said, he's one of those packers that lays out everything that could potentially go on the trip, right? And then slowly makes the decision as he packs. So there's still folded clothes and some jeans there. Deputy Valentine is not used to this, and she's like, "Well, we shouldn't." Okay. She's just not real comfortable with this. Let's do a meddling move, and let's do it with reason, if I could, Jackie.
All right. Success.
Very nice. With an 11. You're going through the stuff. Simple guy. Looks like he bought like 10 pairs of the same jeans and he's been wearing them for a while. They're all, the couple jeans there are folded up or what you remember seeing him in all the time. He's got a couple t-shirts, a few band t-shirts, a couple t-shirts that show, different branding for like power tools and stuff like that. And you kind of step away from it, Jackie. Kind of look at it, realizing maybe there was something important, but if so, he must have taken it with him. And you notice the mirror above his bed. And it was cracked, which kind of fits the condition of the overall house. Kind of like the kids of the cobblers never have shoes. Looks like the handyman did work on everybody else's place but his own. But as you kind of step back and really look at this mirror, this cracked mirror, you realize that the cracks are deliberate, almost like they're etched. In fact, you'd swear that the cracks in the mirror are actually a lunar calendar. This is clue number 7. A cracked mirror etched with what appears to be a lunar calendar.
Is there anything signifying like part of the lunar calendar actually being used, or do we get to determine that?
You get to determine that.
That's 7 on complexity 6. Do we want to look some more? Do we feel good about trying to figure this out?
You can always start, right? And if you're not happy with where you are, decide to get some more clues. If you'd rather have more than a +1, start theorizing. What are we thinking?
Yes. Yeah, we can start theorizing. I have an idea for the time. Let me know if it's insane.
Mhm.
For the frayed and knotted rope, could that potentially give us what time this is happening? In a sense that you would have to put it up against an abacus to get the correct number sequence to say what actual time it's happening.
I have obscure knowledge that can help with this. In ancient Peru, the Incas used a series of knots and ropes called quipu. They didn't have a written language, but that was their way of counting. So they used it for like they didn't use it for a calendar specifically, but often they'd use it for like keeping up with money or keeping up with supplies or keeping up with that sort of thing. So it could
So it was basically a
absolutely,
ledger.
yeah,
Is what they
it
were.
was, so it could
I did not
absolutely,
anticipate anybody knowing that when I put this clue in there. Well done.
I mean, I lived in Peru for a year, so but yeah, so that is absolutely what it could be. That was my first thought immediately when I saw it. I was like, oh yeah.
So we'll use the rope to answer the time question. So maybe it'll give us a date and a time. Is that what we're thinking?
I think we could match it with the lunar calendar.
Sure
I
could.
think you could match it to the lunar calendar, and that's how you put it all together.
So those
You
two
could also
clues give us
possibly
when.
match it to the lighthouse, the photo,
Mhm.
because it could be they've tried it before and it failed, so they might have been the time, or maybe the date was right and the time was wrong, or the time was right and the date was wrong. But I think the picture could give us a clue, maybe even to where.
To kind of go off that, I like the where, Amy, for the picture, and we can match that with the letters between the two residents discussing where the final three good gathering places would be. Because when Craig mentioned the kind of destroyed lighthouse, like why would they not kind of go back there to give homage to it? And it's one of the closest things to the sea.
Could be with the necklace as well too. The eye floating above the water could be like the eye of the lighthouse.
So it sounds like we can declare a date and a time. We've got clues that would tell us when and at what time. It sounds like we have clues to say where. Do we have any clues that could potentially tell us the manner of this ritual?
We got the old diary that describes how to prepare the ritual.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it will be no, we're using a photo. Using that.
All right, so I'm going to quickly go through this. So we're using the photo. I'm going to mark that. We're using the photo to help us with where and with when, right? Because what we're saying is that there was we know when that lighthouse crumbled. It was associated with just a freak accident, maybe. But now you're starting to realize after looking at the etched mirror and this rope with these specific ties that wasn't just a random date, that was a significant date. So
Also
that's
might not
helping
have
us
been
with
an accident.
right. It's telling us potentially where and when. We're using the necklace to help us with where. So I'm going to mark that. We're using the letter between two residents discussing ideal locations. One of those locations is matching up to what the other ones are matching up to. So that's reinforcing our decision on where. So I'm good with that. Our old frayed rope is helping us with when. So I'm marking that. All right. So the etched mirror is helping us with when. So that's 6 clues that I think definitely can help us. The last one is the torn page from the Manifest of the Deep Reaver, with a first mate that shares a last name with somebody you know.
I think we can tie that to the diary describing the ritual, and that might reinforce how the ritual takes place. If the diary describes preparing a ritual that seems sacrificial in nature. There's daggers, etc. The torn page of the manifest might be someone who's not, to us, part of the conspiracy. I think it might be interesting if it's actually Valentine. So she was attracted to this area as part of the thing going on, and she needs to be sacrificed. So
does that mean that the officer is involved?
Or just
So,
they brought her here to sacrifice her because they need her, the whole bloodline.
And do you know who the person was in the picture of the lighthouse?
Who was it?
Dalrymple.
Oh, my crush!
Who's been playing us for a fool the whole time.
Do we feel
Like
good
this
at
little
plus?
howdy folks shucks is an act?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go with the current theory. The current theory is we see Dalrymple in that photo with the broken lighthouse, the etched mirror, the rope, the date of the lighthouse was destroyed. Gives us a sense of when. Let's just say tomorrow night. Let's say the necklace. You said the lighthouse picture as well, and the different locations mentioned in the letter is telling us where. What are we declaring is the where?
The lighthouse. Right?
The lighthouse.
Ruins of the
Lighthouse.
lighthouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're saying it's going to be a sacrifice because of the diary, and it's going to be a sacrifice of Deputy Valentine that's going to finally bring forth the child of Persephone. You guys can make this roll now at a +1.
Oh my god. I like how we're all like too freaked out to do it.
I kind of want to find one more just for the +2, but I'm also okay with looking.
So
has everybody made a roll yet today?
All four of you are piecing this together. You're starting to see a look of horror go over Deputy Valentine's face as you guys are starting to realize that Dalrymple specifically called her in, and how she shares a last name with this first mate from this old boat that seems to be maybe the genesis of all of this. I am okay with somebody peeling off to try to get another meddling move in. Is there something around here that we could poke around and try to find another clue? Right now we're in Maud's sitting room. Or no, we're not. We're in Maud's dining room across from the sitting room in the foyer.
Who would Maud live closest to on our persons of interest list?
Ooh.
Probably Amanda Shipley or Eudora Mason.
It looked like Salty Nancy was heading out. I'm tempted to just run over quickly and look around her house.
Which one?
Around whose house?
Eudora, Dory.
Yeah, we can have her. We can have Maud living about 2 doors down from Dory's house. Deputy goes, I don't know. Maybe. I hope not. But you're saying that Dory is kind of a higher up in this cult?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
When I pulled up, I didn't see any lights on in her house.
Make one last pit stop, then.
Can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I think we should go break into her house.
I agree. Had a girl. Let's go.
We cut to the 5 of you checking the front door, locked. Boy, the back door's been good to you. Oh, wow, that was a weird phrase. The back door of the houses have been good to you. But that turns out to be locked. We see you outside one of the windows. The 4th window you check, You press and it slides up. Who is going to be our first breaker and enterer? Geraldine. Geraldine, I need a night move and I want it with vitality. But before you take this, what are you afraid
Okay.
is going to happen to you physically if you fail this roll?
I want to fall and break something.
Yeah, I think you are going to fall as you kind of tumble through this. And it's worse than that because Dory's no fool. She's booby trapped this house.
Oh, okay.
So what appears to be just a regular window actually looks, we might find out to be a guillotine.
Oh, that's fine.
Can you give me a night move with vitality, please?
Sure. I would love to.
Killing
Another
it.
success.
You lift up the window. We see Geraldine lift herself up and start to go in there. And at the last second, nobody sees it. We see Valentine grab the window as it slides down. She doesn't say anything, but she points. And you guys see this razor sharp blade running along the bottom of the window. That was close.
Yeah, she's evil. Okay. Yeah, we're taking this bitch down.
So she says, grab that over there. And she kind of points to like a little statue. Let's jam the door, jam the window open. And the 5 of you pull in. Actually, I think the deputy says, I'm going to stay out here and keep watch.
That's smart. Okay.
Because I don't think we want her showing up.
Be careful. You're important to them.
I'll stay with the detective. Buddy system. Just like kindergarten.
She goes, do you have one of the flasks that I saw the other women have?
One.
So she takes a slug with you. So Maud, Geraldine, and Elsie, you're inside Dory's house. Everything is perfectly placed. You can tell that she is a collector. There's lots of different cases with different types of collections. One has teacups in it, one has spoons in it, one has a series of thimbles all displayed all over this main sitting room area that you're in right now.
I hated this woman before she was a cultist bitch.
Just a bunch of junk.
I'm going straight through and looking for her office and tearing it apart.
So you find her office. She's got stationery neatly stacked, very expensive pens all on the little indented rail, lined up end to end. She's got a book of stamps next to it, fully prepared if she ever needs to write a letter. She's got everything right at her fingertips, ready to go. Let's do a meddling move. I want it with... Ooh, what do I want this with? I think, Geraldine, I want this with... I want this with sensitivity.
Oh, thank God.
You start going through her desk. And you find in the bottom drawer, folded and it like pressed into the back of a series of files that has like her bills in it, her utility bills and everything that she's all kept neatly organized and labeled in this drawer. You kind of are going through that and it's all just a bunch of stuff she should have thrown away anyway. And you get to the very back and you find a folded up poster. You pull that poster out and you spread it on the table. And this is an original vintage poster of a local fair back in 1967 that was hosted by the hippie commune. So if you remember, we heard the story about the murderous hippies. This was a fair that they put on in Brindlewood Bay back in 1967. There's a very important detail on it that you're immediately drawn to. That's your 8th clue. If you can tell me what that is and how you can tie it, we'd be at a +2.
All right. Mavens, do we feel good about saying what this clue should be? Because I have an idea. I'm just not sure.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, give it to us.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can make it work.
So potentially, the piece to add in on the poster is going to be like a piece of the Leviathan they found from the original monster.
What does that tie to clue-wise? What does that tell us when we think about the time, the location, and the manner of the ritual? What does this help us with?
I think it could possibly help us with the location or even the manner of the ritual by getting a piece of that along with the sacrifice.
If that was an item that was described in the old diary, then that would tell us that they already have it in their possession.
That's
we
good.
see mention of a preserved part of the Leviathan on the list. And maybe what we see on the vintage poster, just in the corner, looks like part of the decorative artsy late 60s, psychedelic posters, is a jar with a preserved piece of meat floating inside of it. Who wants to give me a +2 roll? Nobody roll yet, but I just want to know who's going to make it. Last one to touch their nose. All right, Maeve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maeve, before you make that roll, I want to cut to outside. Jackie and Valentine are doing some small talk. Whatever doubts still remained in the corner of her mind, Jackie, you're just squashing each one of them, and she's just realizing that this has to be real. We hear a scream from inside. We hear Elsie scream from inside the house. Valentine goes, "Oh my God. I'm gonna go break down the door. Can you
Great
stay here and
idea.
make sure nobody comes in? Just keep your eyes on the driveway."
Okay, but if I disappear, this is on you. Buddy system, remember you keep an ear out. I scream, you come
I'm
back.
just going to go to the front door. I'm going to kick the front door in. It sounded like Elsie to me.
Go, it's Elsie.
But okay. So we see her run around the corner. We cut it inside Dory's house as Geraldine puts the last piece of this together, matching up the poster to the list. We now have a clear sense of what the hell is supposed to be happening. What we don't see or hear is Elsie scream. Maud, I need a theorize +2 move.
Oh, I'm so scared.
We do.
1, 2, 3,
Come
go.
on. Come on.
Yeah.
Ah, come on.
I'm going to cut to credits. We'll be back on the other side. So, Maeve, it's funny. The conversation that was just happening during the credits was very similar to the conversation that happened between 11 and 12 in public access, which is, I'm so excited that we're getting to the finale of this game, but I don't want it to end. The public access group was the same way, and Maeve, I agree with you. This can't be the last time we get this table together, because boy, oh boy, we're having a ton of fun. We ran a little bit long, so we're going to keep this short and sweet. We've got obviously one more episode left. We know where tomorrow night, or when tomorrow night, where the lighthouse, and it's some sort of sacrifice of the deputy that's going to apparently open up and summon this child of Persephone. So we should have a pretty action-packed episode 13, which is interesting in and of itself. This has been a fun year. We're almost at the end. I'm going to start with you, Nabby. Give me your thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Oh, geez, this was a really fun one. My star tonight, well, all of you are my stars, but I really did love the not really soliloquies, but the moments that Maud had where she was really expressing her character's mental state. It brought a lot of gravity to the situation, especially since I think a couple of the characters have kind of just like checked out and gone to like, no, anything's possible now. It's fine. Just drink the pain away and keep going. So that was lovely. I enjoyed that a lot. Wishes. I wish to see you all again soon for the final episode.
So here's a question for you. There's all kinds of ways episode 13 can play out. I'm going to ask a similar question that I asked the other group that we play public access. What is a way you hope it doesn't play out? So what would be a disappointing ending? I think there's a million satisfying endings to this run. What would disappoint you, Nabby?
A disappointing ending would be Valentine being successfully sacrificed.
Shadika, thoughts, stars, and wishes. And I'd like your wish to be what would be an unsatisfying ending for you. So let's start with stars.
Okay. Stars, I would say during our theorized section, how everyone made everything just better. Like a suggestion was made and they enhanced it, which is always a fascinating thing to me. And I love when other people do it because I'm like, oh, yes, we can move forward with this.
This was definitely the most group project, I think, of all of our theorized moves. I think everybody's participated in different theorized moves. This is the first time where I think we felt all four of you together, which was pretty cool. I agree. And what is a way that this could end that would disappoint you?
Oh man. So I love my protags to struggle a lot. And we've been having it pretty easy. So maybe, I don't know, maybe not necessarily maybe a loss, because I will be disappointed regardless if we lose a character. But opposite of Jackie, maybe the deputy does lose her life.
So we've been dealing with all kinds of themes here, right, Shadika? And I don't know if a rosy, everybody walks off into the sunset and saves the world. I don't know if it can be that easy. So I'm kind of feeling you a little bit that we've dealt with a lot of darkness and we might need a little darkness at the end. Maybe not total darkness. We'll have to see. So
Yeah.
I definitely, I'm smoking what you're growing. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, Amy, stars and wishes.
Oh man, my star tonight. I'm probably gonna have to throw it at Maud as well too. The very beginning got it, where she's just like, "I'm sick of all of this shit. Come on, come down here, show your face, let's get it over with. I'm done." Like, I absolutely love that. And I agree with Jackie as well. I think it's quite funny that we're just have seen so much crazy stuff happen now that we're almost not phased when some little minor thing pops up, you know, like, oh, there's a jar on this poster. Like it's another weird thing that we're putting up with. But yeah, I enjoyed that greatly. Maud is my favorite of today. It's wonderful. Oh, and then my wishes.
What would disappoint you at the end of 13? Or
Uh,
how could you be disappointed by the ending?
I, I think the only way I could be disappointed with the ending is if there is no ending. Like if we manage to, life happens and we can never get together again, and it's just left on this horrible cliffhanger. That would be the worst. Other than that, I think it's going to be awesome. However it goes, it's going to be great.
So no 13 would be a disappointment.
Yeah, no 13. That's the only disappointment. It's the only way I could be disappointed because this game is fantastic, and regardless of how it ends and how many of us actually make it through to the end, it's going to be wonderful either way.
Last but not least, Maeve.
My stars. I love this group so much. Like this has been, I think, my absolute favorite RPG I've ever played.
Wow.
Like I have had, and it's got a lot to do with the table. It's got a lot to do with like the system. I even took, I do a twice a month D&D group I run at a local shop for a lot of other girls. And I took the mechanics of Brindlewood Bay and added them to Dungeons and Dragons, and it worked perfectly, and everybody loved it. So it's the girls, it's the game, it's I mean it's you. Like you've been such a great like DM. This whole thing has been absolutely one of the best years of like RPGs that I've had. So
Cool.
that's my stars.
What would disappoint you at the ending?
I think it would disappoint me if this game is so tied into characters' past and you're able to sort of bring characters' past into the story. It influences the story somehow. I would be disappointed if something about the mystery isn't tied to the four of them in some specific way, because the game does constantly reference these like little snippets of who characters are.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you know the routine. If you want to find out when episode 13 is going to be scheduled, I'm going to be talking to these ladies over the next couple days to get something down on the calendar. So if you want to find that out, make sure you're following me on all the socials, and we'll see everybody soon. Take care. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.